Welcome to Destination Animation, the Newgrounds and YouTube podcast where we talk to other creators in the animation community about their goals, inspirations, and overall work experience. Hosted by Coop Animates. On tonight's episode, we bring Billy Crinion, creator of the web series Billy's Toon Times, as well as being an animator and artist for shows like Smiling Friends, Ed's World, and more. This episode was originally recorded in November of 2024 in Coop's basement via Discord call. The audio may be a little shitty.
Alright, so after some audio complications and just some awkward in-between conversations, let's go ahead and just get some of the questions started. So let's start with yourself, like the history of you being a creative, like Billy's Toon Time, how you started getting into animation as a whole, just kind of starting from there.
Okay. That's gonna be a whole like 14 years of lore. Okay. So I've always been
The lore.
I've always been an artist. I guess I've always been drawing at least since I was very little. I used to paint lots at my grandparents' place, and when I was at home, it was a lot of like, I'm going to draw basically anything that I see. I used to draw a lot of Sonic stuff when it was on TV. I used to watch a lot of Sonic X, and so I would just draw what was there.
Lovely.
Make lots of comics was the big one when I was growing up. Was like, oh, if I can't, I want to make stories. I want to self-insert myself into every show that I'm in and be the main character because I'm fucking huge ego. And I just made comics.
Yeah,
gave them to my friends.
That's a good way to start. I will say that.
Yeah, so
that's how I've always done stuff. I started with comics and then eventually went on to I animated stick people, and then I went to my own stuff. So otherwise, comics and art are just a great way to start, all in all.
they are, and
I guess altogether.
I very much agree. I think it's where a lot of us start because we don't know that animation exists. You know, you think it's all kind of magic and that the cartoons just exist and they're just made because that's how they are. But then you grow up and you're like, oh, people make
I think
this.
there's a
I
lot
can
of
do
people
that.
that forget that stuff.
Yeah. I think.
Yeah, you just watch an episode of freaking TV, it's just some show, and you're like, I could do that. It's easy. Then you get to the process, and you're like, oh god.
Oh yeah, yeah. When I was, I think it was around, about around 9 or 10, and it was like I was scrolling the classic YouTube back around that time, and I think it was
yes.
moving targets was where I was like, oh, Ed's World. I've never heard of this. This sounds cool. And then I watched it. And I was like, this is just a kid making stuff in his bedroom. I can do that. And I was also super into before I knew that you could do stuff at home. I was super into wanting to become an animator as like a career. Very very like I think I was around 8 or 9, very early, and was like, oh wait, you can just draw like Disney people just draw stuff on paper and then it comes to life. I want to do that. That's my job now. I'm gonna do that. And yeah,
I want to do this thing. It makes me happy.
yeah. I mean, literally, like I think it was when Tangled was
yeah.
coming out. I was seeing all the concept art for it before the film came out, and I was like, it's all 2D. Whoa.
Oh, dude.
And I was like, oh, I want to do this for the rest of my life.
Yeah. And complete side note, but I've seen some of the Tangled concept art, and yeah, it's some real amazing stuff.
Oh, Glenn Keane's an amazing artist. But
It's just a great. I'm sorry about that. My dog's barking like a maniac.
That's okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, creative processing, starting with comics and shows and whatever, just small stuff. Really great. Now, where did I think you mentioned this in several videos. Where did Billy's Toon Times come from? The thing I know is like you guys based it off of Ed's World, like, oh, just bring my friends into it, and then just random side plots.
That's exactly
But
what it
like
was.
the concept, like
I
I thought so.
so to kind of like go to the very start. I've had a few friends come and go in my life, but the guy who I initially started the show with, Shane Campbell, he was my best friend for years, and there was just this thing in me that was like, oh, I'm in a new school now. I just started high school, or middle school, whatever it is in America. Whenever you're 12, and
Yeah, you're right. It was middle school.
yeah.
You're good.
And so I was like, oh, I'm making new friends. I made this new friend called Gavin, and he seems
Sorry about that.
cool. And then I, without their permission, I made the pilot episode, which was just like, oh, Space Face. I just traced over Space Face, with my own interpretation of my friends, and made up some random shit and voiced them as well. And then only when I was finished with it and uploaded it to YouTube did I tell them that it existed, uh, and was like, "Do you want to be a part of this thing?"
No.
Um,
Just
yeah.
yeah, great stuff. I'm gonna. I am so sorry about my dog.
What's
I'm
good?
gonna mute my mic every time I make a comment, just so we don't have that in the audio.
Sure.
Next question here. How did you get involved with Ed's World, Smiling Friends, and so forth? If you have any particular stories about those.
That's a kind of a long play. So kind of the career part of things started with my own Billy's Toontime stuff, and me just like using that as a way to get better at animating and practicing different techniques and stuff. But it was around the same time that I started BTT that I
Yes.
also started this thing called the Edgeworld Fan Movie, which it was at the
I've heard
time
about that. Yes.
was very like, Mark had just finished his like first draft of the script, and I saw it on Tumblr, and I was like, "Hey, if you ever need animation tips," me as like a 13-year-old thinking I'm that great. If you ever need animation tips, let me know, because
Yeah.
I can draw like Edgeworld, and I can give you some notes. And Mark just messaged me back and was like, "Would you consider being an animator on this thing?" And I was like, "Fucking, it's yeah, sure." Um, yeah.
Would you like to animate your favorite British characters?
Essentially,
Like just
and
and of course to younger you, that's like, yes, just mind blown.
it was huge at the time, because I was a big fan of Edgeworld, especially because it was during Legacy. I was fan of Ed's World pre Ed's passing, so I was like really into it, especially
Mm,
during the
mm.
start of Legacy. And there was this just kind of like, oh shit, I could get really good at mimicking this style, and that's kind of what we did for a few years, and some really cool things came out of that. I became friends with Paul Trevord, because of Mark. I think Mark had contacted him at
Huge honor.
once, and then I had contacted him myself, and then he and I just started conversing a lot. And he threw me into Fun Dead for no reason other than he was being nice, and I was like screaming when that happened. But all of the fan movie stuff then led into Tom Ska contacting us for the end. We were he was like, "Oh well, these guys are so prolific in the Edgeworld fandom that why shouldn't we put them into this multi animator project?" And so Tom messaged Mark, and then Mark messaged me, and I said yes. And that was the start of my career in kind of online animation. And eventually Tom was like, "Oh, hey, you're cool.
And now
I'm
you
just
do it
gonna
for
go
your
through
job.
you." Well, yeah, it's my job now. Yeah, but yeah, Tom was like, "I'm gonna go through you instead of this kind of middleman thing." And so Tom and I then kind of created this rapport, which now has become basically I'm his go-to guy when One Shop is not around, which I think is pretty great.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. I've seen some of One Shop stuff and David as well. David
Mm.
Tunes. I love some of his involvements with Tom Scott and some of Ed's World when he was still there.
David's a good friend. Yeah.
Um, just great stuff. Also, I'm gonna shift this for a second. Paul Tavord's level of detail when it came to Ed's world and just his stuff entirely, just mind-boggling.
Oh, insane! Like
I would really love to get an interview with him, but I know he doesn't do that kind of stuff anymore.
he doesn't talk. He's a very quiet dude. He also is like he puts Edgeworld to kind of the past as well, which is like good on him. Like continue
Yeah.
forward, don't look back kind of situation. And I look up to that
Yeah,
for sure.
no, I understand that kind of stuff. Yeah, I've seen some of his stuff for Super Meat Boy and some of his stuff for the Warner Bros. Properties and things, and amazing stuff. The guy's just a maniac. Like, number one, you look at Fun Dead, you pause a frame. That frame probably took Paul maybe a couple hours, or maybe at least an hour, just at the least. Then you look at his other stuff, and you're like, well, this is just the 30th anniversary adverts from 2016 or 17? And you just see all this kind of stuff, and you're like, how does this madman do it? Like he's such a freaking beast.
I can tell you firsthand, it did not take him an hour to draw each frame. It was very much like he's like me. Like you get to a point where you can draw fast and make it still look good. And
Yeah.
he's a fucking machine. If I'm allowed to swear, he's a machine. No,
you're good.
Okay, cool. But he's always been a machine, and he's never stopped, as far as I'm aware. I don't know how he does it. But it's actually kind of segueing into being friends with Paul and knowing him for going on 10 years now. 12 years? I don't know how many. But he's the one who got me into Smiling Friends.
Close enough. And I've seen your show reel that has some of your scenes you did for Smiley Friends, and I gotta say your stuff combined with Paul's stuff and the other artists like Zach, I can't remember his name, but Sick Animations, their stuff, just great to see all that stuff blend together, and you could still how do I want to word this? It's on style, like it stays in the main Smiling Friends style,
yeah.
but you could still point out like, oh, Paul animated this, or yeah, consistent. That's it. Like, oh, Paul animated this, or hey, Mark M animated this. Like, just small stuff like that.
Yeah, I
amazing.
It's working. That was, I think, one of the coolest projects I've worked on. Just like as like the popularity of it, but also just working with a team like that. It was everybody was kind of all inclusive, and I was working right underneath Paul. He was my lead, and so was Creed, who's also a good friend of mine. And I was kind of super honored to like work with them, because it was kind of this thing of like, oh, these people that I really looked up to as a young boy are now my friends, and are like I'm working as equals. It's very, very cool. But Smiling Friends was a very, very lucky break, and I can't thank Paul enough for getting me onto that team and putting me in that direction. It was really cool.
Yeah, that's nuts. I myself am going to school for graphic design. Would hopefully probably do stuff around that line, maybe working for Adult Swim or some form of like TV company. So
that'd be cool.
So kind of like how you were starting with Billy's Toon Time and then going into like big industry stuff like Smiling Friends. It's just like just little baby steps. You kind of learn stuff along the way.
You got to take a step at a time, yeah.
So great stuff. Yeah. All right. You answered that one. Because of some of the events that happened behind the scenes of the fan movie, you don't have to answer this one if you don't want to. What was your personal experience working with the fan movie?
Fan movie was interesting. I was one of the first people on it. It was me, Mark, and Jonah. Jonah very early left. I think they were another writer, and then it was just me and Mark for a while. And I was like go-to animator. He was doing the boards and stuff, and it was quite quiet. And then he started getting more people in for just different bits and pieces, until a point where it got like to a big full team of volunteers who just wanted to make something really cool. And I think it like there was a point where I think it felt like it was this it instead of being like voluntary, it felt more like an obligation at points. It felt like it was becoming a job. But overall, like the people were very cool. Whatever happened behind the scenes, in any negative sense, it doesn't shine away from the very cool things that happened, which was obviously working with Eddsworld proper, and getting to do a bunch of stuff with them. And then also just like the people who I work with now on a bunch of stuff all came from that, right? David was a fan of me at one point and then worked on the fan movie, and now David's fucking doing a hell of a boss and Has Been Hotel and the Odd Ones Out
Oh yeah, I
videos
forgot
and
he was doing
all the
stuff for Spindlehorse.
he's so cool. And then fucking who else we got? I mean, half of the people that worked for fan movie are actual people who work on Eddsworld now beyond.
Yeah, they all Jackie, Penny, I think Fran. Yeah,
Yeah,
Fran. I'm thinking of
Fran especially was like was so young and yet so able to do so fucking many cool things with Eddsworld. And yeah, just everybody kind of swapped over. I think it was like when fan movie ended, I think Matt was like, "Oh, what if we just brought these guys over to here because they're really good at the style."
Yeah,
And especially Jackie at the
yeah.
time was
I mean,
like super
even when Jackie was doing fan movie, it still like looked on point. Like,
consistent.
his frames per seconds were a little off, but with learning the style and figuring out well that age-old thought, what would Ed do? The like over time he develops it, and then up until he stopped being lead animator and Penny took over. Which congrats to Penny, by the way. That's Pinheads was amazing.
Oh yeah, Pinheads is really really cool.
Pretty much, he had the style nailed down. There was just like small things he needed to fix.
Jackie was great. She's doing a lot of cool stuff now since leaving Eddsworld, and during the fan movie was like this insane also machine who was just like pumping out anything that Mark wanted, and she did the same for Eddsworld when she joined. She is, I think, still one of the best people to do the style. I used to be that at one point, and then she took over, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense. But
yeah, that's probably the best option.
But now I think Penny's
Thanks,
lead.
Matt.
Yeah, now Penny's lead on it was on Pinheads, and she's doing great as well. And I'm fucking so proud of those people doing their fucking thing. I did like one short there recently with Eddsworld because I'm kind of in and out of that team. And that was just by myself. But everything else, like everybody working on that team, so cool. We all get along, and we're all, good buds. But yeah, hard workers. They never stop.
Yeah, I've even had Penny and I've had Penny and Dave from Oddball in some of my. Well, I have Dave still in my videos, but I had Penny for I think 2 of them.
Oh, cool.
Because if you remember, Oddballs in Real Life on channel, they were recording an episode for my series, Eric and Derek, and voice crack. They were recording an audio I needed for Eric and Derek, and like just having that, like that personal, I guess spotlight a little bit. Like the main video itself was just like a silly, goofy vlog between Dave and Penny, but for the most part, having both of them in the video was like, I've been watching your stuff like for the last, at the time, couple months. This is amazing.
I get that completely.
And yeah, just small stuff like that, and collaborating and stuff.
Collaborating is the best. It's so fun, especially collaborating with people that like you look up to. I've had so many opportunities to work with people that I've been super And reaching out to people and just hoping that they might reply is always kind of this daunting feeling. But once they kind of say, yeah, I'd love to be a part of your thing, it's very cool. Like that was something that I've done a lot with my own cartoon. Is there was an episode where I had a bunch of animators, like a bunch of very popular animators, just do a pirate voice. They didn't do any voice lines. They just went "Har, har, har." And I was like, that's all I need. But at least I know your guys' names are in there. And same with a bunch of
Yeah.
other cameos and stuff. It's a lot of fun, especially when you're animating with them or just doing something that's collaborative with them. I think it's very fun and very cool.
Still waiting for Weird Al Yankovic to get back with me.
Actually, funny enough, Weird
God.
Al.
Let's see.
Fucking what about the? I worked on a Weird Al collab a few years ago, and I think he commented.
yeah,
he commented
yeah,
on it at some point. I'm pretty sure.
What was it? Now that's what I call Polka with I can't remember his name. He died recently. Lemon something. I can't
Lemony
remember his name.
Fresh. Yes, he was a good friend
The
of
dude
mine.
who animates with no eyes.
Yeah.
Lemony Fresh.
Yeah, he was a friend of mine at one point.
Yeah. Amazing guy. I would have liked to talk to him.
Bro was also one of those machines who just could churn out anything. He was very cool. We met a few times when we were at some concerts for Ninja Sex Party and Game Grumps and stuff. Very cool guy. We were going to work on some stuff together. It never happened, but yeah, rest in peace.
Dang, that stinks. But still, you two technically worked on a video with Weird Al, so
that's true.
Yay. All right. All right. Let's talk about Smiling Friends for a minute. How did that start? Like, were you contacted? Were you?
So yeah,
just like, hey, put myself out there. Maybe I can get a job here, kind of deal.
So it was kind of out of nowhere, really. Paul was he and I just chat every few months or few weeks, depending on the busyness of how we're doing. And I think it was it was July of last year. I remember I was going through a lot of career issues because I was not getting paid what I was worth, and I was looking to quit one of my gigs that was consistently paying me. So I was like, oh well, this is consistent work, I shouldn't be quitting it. But I felt so like my worth was just not valuable anymore there. And then and that was all thanks to my girlfriend as well. I couldn't have done that by myself. I needed somebody to literally tell me, "Hey, please leave." But yeah,
this isn't worth it. Stop it.
Yeah, literally. And no, she's great. But I ended up looking for another job, and luckily I got a storytime gig with a YouTuber called Haminations. And as I got
yeah, I forgot about that. You were in did Haminations.
Yeah. And as I got that gig, I got a message from Paul saying, "Oh, hey, I might have this cool gig for you. Keep me, keep yourself posted, whatever it was," he said. And I was like, "Okay, cool. That sounds exciting." And I think I can say it now, maybe. But it was I think it was for the Craig of the Creek movie, because Yada were working on that. And that fell through.
Yeah.
And that fell through. But then he was right afterwards. He was like,
"That show was good.
It's a good show, yeah." Right afterwards, he was like, "Okay, so I'm annoying Jake Gans to try and get you onto Smiling Friends. I will let you know what happens." And he eventually annoyed him enough that I sent in. I over the months I had sent in a bunch of applications, but then I'd sent in one of them because he told me to, and then Jake immediately got back to me, and we started signing documents. And within like a week, I was working on Smiling Friends, doing cleanup, working under Paul as my lead. And the first like week or two was just me animating pigeons for episode 3. Uh, it was just cleaning up and in betweening
yeah.
and coloring the pigeons. It was very funny, but that was it was the coolest
Like
thing to be.
non-biological father and son.
Yeah, it was very cool, and as the more I was working on it, the better kind of cooler shots that I got. I got to work with the landlord on one of the shots where he's like, "Hello, Alan," and
Hello, Mr. Landlord.
yeah, exactly. Um, and that was really fun. I think Gwimbly was like one of our first ones that we were working on, and I remember animating a lot for that
Dude,
one.
that episode. God, I love that episode.
It's a really good episode.
I also love the artist that did the models for Gwimbly and the I can't remember his name, but the
Troglor or whatever.
what was the villain of Troglor? Yes, yes. Just that's one thing I always quote to my friends is Gwambor's wife. Honey, I don't think these men should be here. They're scaring me. Make them go away.
That's that the comedy in that show is great.
It's just so silly and random.
It's so absurd, yeah.
Yeah, great stuff. Without giving a whole bunch away about season 3, how pumped should people be for season 3?
I wish I knew. I'm not on it at the moment. Once I know, I will hopefully be pumped. I'm like, if season 2 is anything to go by, season 3 is just going to be even more of the absurdity, and it's going to be even better looking, probably.
Right, and how I view Smiling Friends as a whole is season 1 was like keep the random silliness, but figure out what works and what doesn't, and then season 2 finally put the things together and figure out what worked and what didn't, and then that's probably what the show is going to look like the rest of its run, pretty much.
Yeah, I think they definitely found their footing in season 2. They definitely know what works and what doesn't for sure now, and like I'm excited. If I get to work on it, that'd be really cool. If I don't, there's no worry about it. I was happy to be part of the show at all and to have my name there somewhere.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
As I always say, something more than nothing.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Next thing, what are some of Billy's inspirations? Like things that you get inspired by, like what you use to base on videos, and all not just artists. I guess we can include that. Just other artists you find inspiration from as well.
That's a big list. Okay. I think obviously in my early days it was definitely
I tried to keep it minimum, but some of them just have to be worded weird.
In my early days it was definitely like Paul for a lot of my early animation stuff. But I mean before Paul, Chris Niosi, Kerbifer 15, he was a big inspiration of mine back on Newgrounds. And I think he also worked on Smiling Friends too. And I think we connected on like Twitter or something at some point. But there was a time where I was literally animating a fan show of his series called Tome. And I was told to make my own thing, to put it bluntly, and that's why Billy Soon Times even happened. Because I was like I had Billy Soon Times and I had the other thing, and once he told me to like kind of maybe stop doing the fan thing, I was like, okay, I'm gonna put all my effort into this show that is completely mine. Which is why I didn't do anything else. Yeah. And
no,
obviously
that was me when I was starting out. Like I mentioned before, I was doing stick people at first because it was the easiest thing to animate at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so like the easiest thing I would do is take like whatever popular TikTok audio was around at the time and just animate with that with my own like funny little kick. So like stuff like nutshell animations would do, for an example.
Right.
and so do stuff with that. And then it wasn't until a buddy from class messaged me and it's like, hey, your stick people cartoons, they're amazing. They're a good little starter. Why don't you try making your own characters? And then I made my series, Eric and Derek, and the rest is history. But still, it's um like just learning curves that you'll learn as you go. Like you start with like in your case, like the fanboy thing, like, hey, I'm making cartoons based off of one of my favorite creator stuff, and then they look at it as like, hey, this is really good. And then over time, you're just kind of like, I need to make my own thing now. And then you start coming up with ideas and different whatevers.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I did stick animations too. I used to use this old program called Sticks, which was it was basically a stickman animation program specifically for that kind of stuff. And I think it might have had auto keyframing or something depending on like kind of like tweening, but not. It was interesting, but as soon as I learned about Flash, I cracked that shit, and I was like, "This is mine now," uh, and I never looked back.
Take that, Adobe.
Yeah, I don't know how I cracked Adobe Flash CS5 at 13, but I did. And honestly, impressive. Uh,
God,
but it was
great stuff, man.
it was kind of a stepping stone into a lot of things because once I figured out because one this goes back into the question, which is one of my inspirations was also the people that I watched to help me make the stuff, which was I used to watch a lot of Draw with Jazza, who did a lot of animation tutorials. So he was also a big inspiration.
I love
Um,
Jazz's stuff.
and then if we're going off of solely like artistic inspiration, I'm just gonna bust out a few names, which is like Brian Lee O'Malley. We have who else?
Mm,
Who else we got?
mm.
I always blank at these things.
I can see some of the O'Malley in your art style.
Yeah, definitely. Was a big. I used to do comics based off of Scott Pilgrim, so that makes sense. But yeah, they're like Eddsworld if Eddsworld and Scott Pilgrim had a baby, and then maybe add a bunch of other shows to it, like Gravity Falls and stuff like that, you probably have Billy 3 times. Um, but it was very cool
Mm, mm.
to kind of find the style for because you never truly have a style, it kind of always evolves, but it's always fun to try and find what
Exactly.
you want for a certain project. But yeah, I've too many inspirations to
Yeah.
name and too
Especially.
many people.
Yeah. I kind of feel that because when I was starting out, like legit characters and not just stick people, I was going off of the Butch Hartman style. So
Oh yeah.
like semicircle, kind of like triangular shaped heads with like funny little pointy hair and crud, and and so that kind of stuff you learn early on. It's like one of my characters is like, okay, the ears just don't work for this character. Those got to go. They'll just be metaphorical ears, and will only animate ears if I really need it. Um, there's a point when my characters didn't have noses that you just
Yeah.
are eventually like, you know what? This just not only does it visibly look more appealing, but it just makes more sense if you like small stuff you give your characters as you develop your thing.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Um, and just like you developing a character over time, and then my thing slowly became more of a mix of the Butch Hartman style mixed with like Ed's World, some of Clerks animated, like just some other different
I can see
things
the
as I go.
clerks. I can see the clerks
And
inspiration.
uh, uh, yeah, it's which is also my other problem, which is pen thickness.
Oh,
I
line
know
weight, yeah.
when Beyond was starting, Matt gave people like different things, like, all right, don't make it too thick, but don't make it too thin. And when I animate, I either go at I'll animate at either like a 6 pixel pencil thickness or a 16. It just kind of depends on the shot, but
I
pen thickness has always been a real problem as well.
I'm one of those people who's like super into like clean up and making stuff look really really clean. But one of the things that I did in recent years was for Beyond. I fixed. I gave them a fixed. This is the line weight for Eddsworld now, guys. And so they've been using that for like 2 years now. And it seems to work. You know, it's like if we have a close up shot, it's a certain line thickness. If we have a wide shot, it's another line thickness, and if we have like a mid shot, it's a different one. And it's like, oh, try and keep the line weight consistent as each one goes.
That's actually smart. I like that.
Because we work in shots, we don't work at like scenes at once, so it's like we make sure that each shot kind of is dedicated to the right line weight and stuff.
Yeah, I kind of go in between. Sometimes I'll try to do a whole scene and then I'll just go a whole shot, and then it's either it takes so long to make one scene or it's super simple. I can just get a single shot done, no problem.
Yeah.
But it kind of varies.
Yeah, I get you.
Correct. All right. Let's see. Oop, refreshed. Hold on. Are there any goals like for yourself as a creative and for the channel as a whole? Like any future things? Just overall goals.
Sorry. I have I think
you're fine.
I have a main goal, which has always been to like be able to have a show to pitch to, TV and stuff. I think every person who's making their own indie thing wants to pitch something. Pitch something as well. And it's always been kind of a dream to show run something.
Same.
I think it's just always been a really cool thing. And I've always been inspired by other showrunners like Alex Hirsch and Matt Brawley and Dana Terrace. Those ones are huge inspirations when it comes to making a show. And I think it would just be very fun to work on something like that, especially if it's like something that's yours and you're passionate about. But other goals is just like I've had like a few years ago, I had this like huge shift in what I wanted Billy's Toon Times to be. And it, ever since then, I've been trying to get to a point where I can just end the show the way I want. It's not about like continuing it. I just want to end it, but end it well and end it the way that I choose to, and give it the story and arc that I've had in my head for like 8 years. And I think
I gotcha.
After that,
kind of like how Penny's doing with Oddball, just giving it a proper
like a send off.
Which I still can't wait for that, by the way.
Yeah, I think I think I'd always wanted it to only be a certain amount of seasons or whatever, but I think as I've gotten older and my friends have shifted to different lives and stuff, that I wanted to turn it into a cartoon that like has a story. That story gets completed and everything just ends nicely, and that's kind of done and dusted. I still have several episodes to go with that. I don't know if I'll ever make it, but it's kind of one of those kind of side goals that would be really cool to finish. And other than that, it's just wanting to work on more cool shit. I'd love to work on more TV shows. I've always wanted to work in-house in a studio with a bunch of other animators sitting down at computers and just working together. And because when I was young, I went to animation studios and did like work experience as like a young 13-year-old, and kind of felt the vibe, and I was like, this is exactly what I want for the rest of my life, is to work in something like this. I think if I can get that opportunity to actually do that myself, I think that's the kind of the dream,
Yeah, I get you completely. And like you said before, like people in your life moving on, and I guess it makes more sense for you. I guess you and Penny, because you guys based both of your shows on people you were friends with. When those people go on and do their own thing, it's kind of like, well, shoot, these characters are my friends. I don't even talk to them anymore. This isn't Um, which not that you guys hate the shows anymore, but it's just like it's not as fun as it used to be now.
I think
I think that's part of the reason why Oddball Adventures is. Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was just saying, like, you're right in saying that. I think especially for Oddball, it's definitely like a way of like, uh, pulling back from it and stuff, with friends separating. For me, it's like, I knew my friends would pull away a few years back, and I made them record a bunch of lines, and I was just like, oh, I'll try and finish it, but I know for sure that I don't want to do an Eddsworld, and I don't want to replace voices or replace people just to continue the show. If they're not going to be around, I'm not going to continue it. But if I can, mess with whatever lines they've given me in the past and try and make something out of it, I will, But the characters are them, whether or not they're, act nothing like them, they're still them, and I don't think I would ever change that.
Yeah. Which that was gonna be the point I was gonna make is, um, like for example, Oddball Adventures. Caleb got married recently, which congrats to him. He's a freaking
damn
a man with a wife now. It's freaking awesome.
bro is young.
When bro is young, um, when you're away from that creative space, because he wasn't there for the 10-year anniversary stream a couple weeks ago. Um, when you're away from that, you can't just okay. Well, he's shoot. His voice is just different now. That's how he sounds now. I get why Penny is probably gonna wrap it up. Number one, because well, the guys have pretty much done about everything in the universe. What else is there really to do?
Yeah.
And so, however the finale goes, is pretty much like the perfect ending. From what I can tell.
Mm-hmm.
And same thing for Billy Times. Whenever it does eventually make its close, like just end it perfectly, and then just kind of go from there.
Yeah.
With like other projects and things.
I think that's the thing as well. It is hard to just stop doing BDT because I want to finish it, right? It's this kind of like unfinished business situation, and it's always in the back of my head. So doing anything and continuing anything forward with anything else, I feel like, oh, but there's still this thing I want to finish, and if I find it so hard to do anything new with my own personal work until I finish that, which is really dumb and stupid, and I hate my brain.
I wouldn't get so beat up about it, but I get that creatively, like just the whole. I made this series. I don't know how I'm gonna conclude it. I don't want to pull a Matt Groening and just make a 35 season show. What am I gonna do?
The thing is, I know how to end it, and I know that it's what I want to end it. Like it's this arc of like this evil villain that comes back from the first season and fucks their shit up, and I'm gonna end it on a really sad cliffhanger. And that's gonna be the end of the show, and I think that's great.
Oh no! Oh god. Yeah, that's great. And I have a planned finale for my thing, but I probably won't do it till forever because I still want to explore it, make more ideas, figure out what the characters like kicks are, like what their goals and what their whatevers are.
Yeah.
And because as of now, I'm known for my series, and for the 250 people that are subscribed to me, it's like that's your iconic thing. You'll forever be known for, in my case, Eric and Derek.
Yeah. Also, hello, 250 people watching.
I mean, I kind of want to do what. Hello, 250 people watching. This is somebody with over way more than that.
Just a little.
But yeah, no, it's yeah, just a little bit. It's I kind of want to do. At the moment, it's kind of like how Ed used to do his stuff up until his unfortunate passing. It's just kind of like all right, well, I have an episode I'm working on. I released it. Okay, what's next?
I
Like
used to
just
do
keep
that too. Yeah.
making as many videos as I possibly can. I also kind of want to do like I don't know if I'll actually do it, but it's just kind of something on the back burner. I was thinking of doing like what The Simpsons did recently and make an episode that's like a what if it ended right now kind of deal.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
So that way there would already be a technical series finale. There'd be a technical series finale, and then like episodes would return as normal, and then like say the creator dies or something, then people would understand why there's no more episodes because um it already had a proper finale and it ends on a high note.
I thought the lore was that the Simpsons movie was like the end of the show. No.
It might be that. You might be also thinking about SpongeBob, but
Oh,
that's
that's what it is. I'm
that
dumb. It's
might. I
another
haven't seen The
it's
Simpsons
another
movie
S
forever.
thing. Yeah, you're right.
Ah. Okay. Yeah, but because that was the actual finale that Steven Hillenburg originally did before
Yeah.
Nickelodeon was like, hey, you know that funny sponge fella that we keep making money from? Let's do more of that.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, no, just ending stuff entirely. It's a weird concept, but I wouldn't be surprised if I'm still doing Eric and Derek 10 years from now. Like if I have my own job somewhere and then still doing Eric and Derek on the side while also having a Patreon for it, which I do want to do
I mean,
eventually.
I'm 25 and I've been doing BTC for 12 years, so you might do.
Yeah, it could be a possibility. Oh god. There was a question on this list that I made that was going to ask if there's ever going to be a Billy's Toontime movie, but I think we kind of already answered that.
I had plans, definitely. It was going to kind of essentially be what season 2 is. It's basically the Billy's Toontimes movie is what the episodes are now. Like it's
Okay, so like
it's the same plot.
haunted house hijinks and um yeah.
Yeah, it goes
Right.
shipwrecked,
So
haunted house hijinks, not so superheroes, the Wildest Westest episode, and then loser tag, and that's essentially what the Billy Toontimes movie would have been.
uh okay, so all of those plus some scenes to put transitions into them, and then that pretty much would have been the movie.
Yeah,
Okay, I kind of like that.
I made a fake trailer
Which
when I was like
obviously we won't
16.
probably get a Billy's Toontime movie or fake movie trailer. You were saying?
Oh yeah, and I was kind of just joking about the fact that I made a fake movie trailer when I was 16. And
Oh, okay.
it was just kind
Yeah,
of like,
no,
oh
I've done that before.
yeah.
I like I took because part of it was I had to do it for a film a what was it? It was an intro to film class when I was in high school, and this is right after COVID. So Eric and Derek was still kind of new, kind of developing what the characters would be like and whatever. I made this 3-minute cartoon that I thought was amazing. Like Eric has one of my characters has a nightmare, um, and basically to the song March of the Swirl Hands, dun 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 dun, just
Hmm.
trying to run to school, and he just performs a monster by the band Skillet for a crowd of other students, which is the most emo song I could have picked. I don't know why I picked that song. And then that was just like the 3-minute thing because our limit was 3 minutes. But I
Right.
wanted to go off of that and then make like a whole traveling movie. And I was doing it with my buddy Seth. We were looking over storyboards and crap, and then it's like, okay, what if you had a thing and like he was making different scene suggestions. And I'm like, wait a minute, this sounds familiar. And so he keeps coming up with ideas and stuff that would go along with it. And
Yeah.
I'm like, this is the plot for a Goofy movie.
Which is a great film.
I unintentionally it's a good movie, but I can't just straight copy it.
No, you can't.
That's not how that works. Which I made an old compilation on my channel of like all the old Eric and Derek stuff, and I forgot to include that into it. So more uploads.
Yay!
It's terrible. It's looking back at it, it's probably one of the worst ones I've made.
You in hindsight, like you look back
For
and
historical sake, I'll
retrospectively,
probably still upload it.
yeah, retrospectively, you're like, oh, I hate this thing that I didn't finish or whatever. That was me with Shipwrecked.
Yeah.
I animated it in 2017 and then finished it in 2019 when I had more time. And there was a whole year where I just didn't touch it because I didn't want to, because I didn't like it really. And then I came back to it because I wanted to do the rest of the show. And yeah, you look back, you look back on those things, and you're like, oh, I really wish I was better at that point. But you got to go with what you were able to do at the time.
I wish this wasn't dog shit.
Yeah, yeah. But you know what? I think it's learning to be proud of your dog shit. That's the big one.
Yeah. I am proud of this pile of dog feces.
Yeah.
Yes, I created that. So yeah, just in retrospectives and different things. But yeah, more upload stuff on my end.
Yay! I'm not able to do the YouTube thing anymore.
I get you. Because even for myself, I'll be doing stuff for my 250 plus subscribers, and sometimes it's like, because I'm also in college as well, and I have a job as well in retail, like doing that stuff plus finding the time to animate, it's kind of like I wish I could upload the weekly like Explosum or like some other channels that can push stuff out quicker.
Yeah.
But it's more like, it's pretty much more of a whenever it gets done that I get stuff uploaded.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, that sort of thing. And so the last question on here is, if you could, okay, this is like the most standard question anyone can get interviewed with. It's if you, sorry, I am having a bad stuttering problem.
It's okay.
Quick side note, that is my other problems, is I stutter too much in recordings. So I'm never satisfied with audio recordings until I can have a line that doesn't have a stutter in it.
That's the thing about voice acting, is that you can cut out a bunch of stuff and mix the takes together. So if you are stuttering and stuff, all that matters is if you have one good take and mix it with another good take. And I think
Yeah,
I'm not sure if this is the case for everybody who stutters, or if it's just like a select few, but sometimes if you know what you're saying in preparation like very well, the stuttering tends to not happen as often.
yeah. Sometimes it's when certain words are put together that I start. It's like, coming up next on the
Oh yeah, you
like,
you
I just
learn
keep,
you learn
I mess it up.
to get out of that. Like, I think I even still fuck up with voice acting and stuff. But it's like you have like you have two words to, put together, and it's just kind of awkward, and you kind of meld the two, and your brain fucks up. Just if I do 30 takes of something every time, even if it's a short line, just to get something good. So you're not alone in the stuttering.
Yeah, I made an update video a while ago, and that took. Yeah, no, I made an update video a while ago. That I swear took so many takes. I finally got it right all in one take. At a certain point, saved it to my files, and I look at my deleted audio files on voice memos for my phone, and I think I counted like 40 to 50.
Yeah,
Like, there's just so
happens.
many takes.
Yeah, especially if you're trying to do like a one take. Jesus, like I couldn't do that anymore. I did that for a merch promo at one point, a year or so back, and I definitely needed to still cut it down with whatever else I had for a few other takes. I presume that's because you don't have like an editing software or something to meld them together.
I do. So I animate on an iPad with the software Flipperclip.
Yeah.
Which it's uh, people dog on it a lot, but it's actually not that terrible. Um, so what you can do is you can drag. Well, actually, I should mention that you have to have the premium in order to do it. But when I got it, it was just like a one-time, just pay $10 for the premium and then you're done. Now it's a subscription,
Of
which
course, yeah, because it's stupid.
which I looked out of
yeah.
that. Stupid freaking subscriptions and shit. And so I freaking freaking subscriptions, man. I can't deal with this no more.
I hate these subscriptions,
But
man.
it I can't get my thoughts out. But but with the subscription, you get like up to 10 layers, and then as many audio slots as you need for your animated shot or whatever.
Oh, okay.
What I do is I'll record lines in multiple parts and then like splice them together that way.
Yeah.
And I have regular editing stuff like flip a clip on my Mac and then CapCuts on my phone if I
Oh,
need
cool,
like
cool.
a particular camera effect. But just like that kind of stuff. And people are always surprised, like, how do you make like this high level stuff with just like a phone and a computer and an iPad for animating? It's like just you learn stuff as you go.
That's what David and Jackie did, and now they're fucking flying. So
Exactly. And they're great at doing it.
yeah.
Look at them go.
Whoa.
So and the last question is if you had any advice for up and coming animators and just creatives entirely, what advice would you give them? Like just people going into like just doing their own thing or just going to TV period.
Okay. I think this is a general thing, but just love what you do. First off, I think if you're gonna get into the animation industry, it's a hard one to get into, especially these days, and the unemployment rates are huge. But if it's important to you, if you're passionate about it, and that's what you want to do, fucking go for it. Because the feeling you get from magically making shit move, and seeing that go out into the world and seeing people react to it, and be able to create just anything, I think, yeah, if you're passionate about it and you want to do it, fucking go for it. And keep learning, keep practicing. If you're stuck on not knowing how to animate or draw a certain thing, look it up. The internet is fucking amazing for that. If you struggle with anatomy, there's life drawing websites that are completely free, and you can just select any image. There's so many drawing references on so many websites like Pinterest. The internet is abundant of so many great things and references to improve yourself and to learn. And to me at least, I think there's no better career than being an animator, because it's just a lot of fun. It can be very, very stressful, and you can work yourself to the bone and get crunch time and burnout, but in the end it can be worth it, and to me it is. So if that's any good advice, I hope it is.
Yeah, that's pretty solid advice. And like you said, finding stuff on different social platforms like Pinterest, DeviantArt, and well, I guess I can't say DeviantArt because a lot of it's now AI shit. But like just finding stuff on different websites and different places to find tutorials on YouTube, just kind of stuff like that. Controversial take, but some of the times tracing helps a little bit because
that's not a
you can
controversial
take
take.
an image of like your favorite
Tracings
character,
are really
trace
good.
over it, and then you can, yeah, especially for anime because you're going to be tracing a lot. If I'm going to be completely honest,
like this is actually some
but
really
like taking your favorite character, tracing over the lines, and then pretty much just developing your style, and eventually tracing and gets you to your main drawing goal. What were you saying? My bad.
No, I was just agreeing with you. Tracing is a great way to start if you are trying to learn about certain shapes on characters and trying to mimic an art style and understand it. It's really good to if you're struggling with something and struggling to copy it, to trace it, understand where the shapes are, and then like on another page, then draw based on what you remember that being there. Look at the drawing and then copy, after you've traced, so then you understand it, you can recreate it, and you keep doing that until you're basically on par with what the original drawing is. And that's basically how I did a lot of my work, and how I even made my own Billy Times was because of I was tracing over space, and that got my style then to a certain point where I was like, oh well, this is now my new style. And I was able to mimic Ed's style because of that, and so on. And now I do, like, if anybody on the Edgeworld team needs a Paul like drawing from Legacy or whatever, I'm the one to go to for that, because I'm really good at mimicking that kind of stuff.
Oh, that's who did that for New Year, New You.
Oh yeah.
I legit thought you guys probably just like just took screen captures and just put them together.
No, those are full sketch drawings that I have on my computer. I just literally replicated it.
That's awesome. But yeah, and just gonna shift this a little bit. With people, in Ed's world and stuff, the team has kind of gotten under a lot of stuff lately because fans don't understand how technical stuff works. Like just with supporting your show and then like getting episodes out at a decent time.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a big portion of the fan base that very much understands the pace it takes to make a cartoon. And then there's the people who are rightfully upset when there's like it's merch, and nothing coming out cartoon wise, which is what they're looking for.
Yeah, so I get that to an extent.
I think because merch is like the main way that the company makes money and is able to put that money then into the budget for cartoons, they need that kind of supply. But it also, it also kind of on the outside looks kind of shit, but on the inside, it's very much a lot of hardworking animators working themselves to the bone to try and get out some good stuff and doing the best they can. And I think yeah, like I said, there's a lot of people that do see that, and there's a lot of people that are just wanting the next thing. And I don't interact with any of the drama. I don't care for it. But I think that it's just it's a matter of just patience, I think. And people waited like a year for Pinheads, and that's really great. And I think the plan is to hopefully get more out sooner than once a year. But animation takes a lot of time. Depends on how intense the cartoon is, and what the world makes things happen. People like we are. In the end, we are freelancers. We're not full contract, and so we are always doing other things. And so when Ezra wants us for stuff, it's normally a matter of priority. And sometimes there are people who are full on Edgeworld and able to just do that, and then there's some people who just can't touch it, and then there's not enough hands on deck. So it really depends on people's availability as well, and that's kind of also one of the main reasons why it takes so long.
Yeah, and then some of it with some of the hate is some of them are little kids. Like
it's all Edgeworld's always been that way.
The Edgeworld fan base has like even with the Rip Ed Gould stuff that you'd see on pretty much the channel releases a video, some of the first comments are Rip Ed Gould, he may be gone, this world keeps spinning. So some of them are trolls, some of them are just kids that legitimately feel bad that Ed died so young. But just that's just kind of stuff you got to think about when it comes to some of the hate Edgeworld may be getting right now. And just on a personal standpoint, I feel bad for Matt. Like I saw his video basically talking about like the fan art policies and like copyrights and whatever. Bro looks like he was stressing. Like I legit feel bad for the guy.
There was a video. I just saw the posts. I need to check that
there was
out.
the post that Darcy made on the Discord, and then Darcy made a post on the Discord, and then I think Matt made a thing on the Eddsworld Twitter.
Oh, that's why I don't use Twitter. Matt looks tired most of the time.
Blues guy, baby.
He doesn't probably like hearing this, but he's wearing too many hats. He's taken on too much, I think, sometimes, and I think he definitely needs to try and find a way to delegate to other people if he can, if the budget allows, because
right,
like if he looks that tired, he probably is.
Yeah, which Matt, if you are watching this, we mean this in the most nicest possible way.
Yeah,
not guaranteeing he's gonna watch it.
I believe that if he had less things to do, he would feel better. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, still keep Eddsworld going because that's number one. He's doing it for Ed, but number two, he just likes making stuff. Period. He likes making cartoons or whatever. Like he made a video, and just that, and then just kind of figure out some stuff, and then just
show running is difficult.
To the best of your ability, try and make it a little more fun.
Yeah, especially on Eddsworld, show running is very difficult. It's a big job, and like I said, there's a lot of hats, and there's a lot of roles that a showrunner takes on, that like it makes it very difficult to have a lot of brain power for anything else. And I think he's doing the best he can. I think he's just trying to figure out the best way to make Eddsworld as good as it can be.
Exactly. And I personally respect the man for it.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, you work for the guy on occasion. All right. Well, that is all the questions we have.
Okay.
So thanks, Billy, for being on the first episode of the Destination Animation Podcast.
It was a pleasure.
I will have a link to your link tree in the description for anyone who wants to check out Billy's stuff and
find
look at his portfolio. Maybe hire Billy for their personal stuff. Find this man now.
If you find me, you get one sticker.
Just a sticker is I found Billy and all I got was his sticker.
Yeah, it's like a little star.
But yeah. But yeah, that was the first episode of Destination Animation. Thanks to everyone for watching, if anyone's even watching this. Billy's stuff will be in the link in the description, and you can check him out there. And yeah, that's episode 1. Thanks for coming on, Billy.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thanks for watching this episode of Destination Animation. Who would you like Coop to interview next? Let us know in the comments. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss out on future Coop Animates content like Eric and Derek and Destination Animation. Until next time, stay gold.